Hard-fought game, very hard-fought, intense game. Two teams fighting for their lives out there. Lamar made more plays than we did, so you have to give Coach Price has been a long-time friend of mine. He does a great job coaching, and they're very well prepared. And game, I thought our guys fought hard as well. We made a few too many mistakes. Defensively, we broke down a little bit. I thought we did a great job the last time that we played against Colton Weisbrod. He had 35 on us, probably a career night for him, and I thought we did just an outstanding job. We had 3 or 4 guys that were assigned to him, and he's one heck of a player, and held him to 9 points. 8 points and 9 rebounds. I'm sorry. And only 4 attempts. So I thought we did a great job of accomplishing that. But their guards, I thought their guard play was outstanding, and not only in terms of shooting the ball, but they did a great job. They broke our guards down, our perimeter defense down at times, and they were able to capitalize on that. But like I said, very hard-fought, intense game, and I think it's what a conference tournament game should be like, the type of intensity. But all the credit goes to Coach Price and Lamar, and wish them best of luck.
Let's go ahead and open up, and again, just name and affiliation before you ask your question, please.
Brendan Williams, Southland.org. Coach, you scored on 7 of the first 8 possessions of the second half. Was it a case of their defense slowing you guys down afterwards, or was it a case where the shots just weren't falling?
No, I think that Marlain picking up his 4th foul had a lot to do with it. Marlain Veal, I thought that he came out and played like I didn't think Marlain played very well in the first half. Talked to him about that at halftime, but he recommitted himself at halftime, on both ends of the floor, and I thought he did a much better job of running our team and getting us into the right calls and the right offenses, and it was paying off for us. I thought we came out and set a great rhythm. I thought the real difference was our inability to stop them at the start of the second half. I thought that I know one of our assistants told me they scored in their first 9 possessions. So we were scoring, but scored in a flurry, really had an opportunity to kind of take control of the game. But we didn't do a good enough job of stopping them, and so you have to give them credit. That's where I thought the difference in the game was. We came out in the second half, gave ourselves an opportunity offensively, but defensively we broke down.
Amos Morale with the Times-Picayune out of New Orleans. Just down the stretch, they got to, I believe it was about 10, and they were able to just kind of hold that. What were they doing to just kind of keep that distance?
Getting to the basket, second shots a couple of times, but most of their shots were coming right there. Again, I don't have the ability to watch the film or know exactly the particular point in time, but we weren't able to cut into the lead because. And they were doing a good job of getting the ball late in the clock and then scoring, or a time or two they got it late in the clock and shot it and got an offensive rebound and, threw it back out and started again. So I thought they did a really good job of being smart, playing with some discipline and patience. And again, I give a lot of credit to the guard play. Those guards are good, and their guard core, they play smart, and they don't hurt themselves. And I think that was a big difference. But I think to answer your question, their ability to get the ball to the basket late in the clock, whether it be by a drive to the basket, maybe get to the foul line, drive and score, or pick up an offensive rebound off of a missed field goal was the biggest difference why we weren't able to cut into that lead.
And then Marlain, obviously, Coach mentioned the second half you came out really looked more aggressive. Just what were you doing that helped you get more offensive success in the second half?
Just played better as a point guard and controlled the team and slowed down and just ran the right sets.
Marlain had at the half I'm not sure if he had an assist, maybe 1 and 3 or 4 turnovers. He ends the game with 5 assists and 4 turnovers, hardly any turnovers in the second half. I thought he did a great job. I thought the 4th foul, not debating the call, it's not the forum to debate that, but the 4th foul hurts us. We depend too much on him, and he got the 4th foul, 11, 12-minute mark, whenever that was. That hurt.
Marlain, how much did that 4th foul take away from your aggressiveness? You were definitely showing that in the second half, but after the 4th foul, it just seemed as if you just had to be a little more on your guard to avoid the 5th.
Yeah, I like to play defense aggressively, and I didn't want to get my fifth foul and put my team in a situation that would hurt them. So I couldn't really pressure the ball as much as I wanted to. I just didn't want to get my fifth foul at all. And when you're in that predicament, it takes away from your game. So.
Dimi, he talks about to play their guards, but talk about overall their depth tonight. Just really showed. It just seems like their second team, took control in the second half.
Wait, say that again?
No, let's talk about the fact that their depth that they had at guard, and how in the second half their bench really helped carry them.
Yeah, the guards that came in off their bench, really the guards that was starting as well, they just drove us and they penetrated and kicked and was getting open shots. Even if they was driving and not scoring, they was kicking and scoring it that way.
I think you're mentioning, and I'm looking at the stat right now for the first time. Their bench scoring 44 outscored us 44-22. That's a pretty significant difference in scoring there. Guys that come off the bench. So again, credit to those guys.
And follow up on that, you talk about the fact of how you guys held Colton to just under single digits and limited him. How frustrating was it to have that kind of night where you were able to defend him, but yet everyone else was able to contribute, lift up for him?
It's tough. Last game we played him, 35, and then we come out and hold him to 9, and then other players just stepped up. So
guys off the bench too. Yeah, Garth had 17, Noel had 11, Owens 10 or 12. There's a difference in the ball game. Did a good job in the front line guys.
Let me ask a question of each of the student athletes. You guys are both young guys, relatively young team. What do you take away from both tonight's game and the season that you're going to try to carry forward?
I just think the good thing about it is we got next year, and we got a chance to play in one of these postseason tournaments. We don't know if we're going to play yet or not, but we hope the season ain't over, but we just think we can grow. We're going to grow a lot from this.
I agree.
Any other questions for our coach or any of the student athletes? Well, in that case, Coach, just one final your takeaway from the season as a whole. I know it's difficult, but
very difficult. And Marlain did reference one thing. The CIT and the CBI both reached out to us, and we hope to continue playing a little bit past this week and represent the league. First of all, I would say the league is as balanced. I've been around basketball my entire life. Grew up the son of a coach. I have lived for basketball. I've never seen a league as balanced as the league was this year, and I think that's great. I mean, there were so many significant games to be played up until the last day, and I think Mr. Burnett said there were 40 different scenarios of tiebreakers. I think that's great, and there wasn't a lot of difference, I don't think, from the first team to really the 13th team in the league, and I think that's good, and it speaks well of our league. I think the programs are all on the upswing. There's outstanding coaching in the league, so overall I'm real proud of that. But as far as Southeastern's concerned, we were able to accomplish a lot of things this year, despite having a number of our key players did not participate with us this year, and certainly how they will return from injuries and so forth will remain to be seen. But we're certainly excited about that possibility that we have some players coming back. We have all of our players returning from this year's the group that finished the tournament tonight, except one, Willie's Dominic Nelson. So with a great off season and some solid, we only have one scholarship to fill at this moment, but get the right guy in here along with what we have coming back. The future's really bright. We were able to have our first winning season at Southeastern since 2010-2011. Qualified, obviously, for the conference tournament. Gave ourselves a position. We felt like that we were in a strong position to make a run at it. Certainly disappointed that we didn't get a little bit further, but we certainly lost to a good team. And it looks like we may have an opportunity to play in one of the postseason tournaments, which will, for Southeastern, will only be the second time in the history of the school. They went to the NCAA tournament when they won the Southland in 2005, I believe, and then haven't been to another postseason tournament. So hopefully our young men will have the opportunity to experience that. That will simply help prepare us further for next year. So excited about that. So a lot to be proud of for our team, and we've been able to, like I said, to have the winning season heading into the tournament is exciting.